This is the Frank and Friends Show. Hi there, I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
Kathryn Frady, I remember you so well.
Thank you. I remember me too.
I feel like I just saw you the other day.
We did.
Oh, right.
Yes.
You didn't see her the other day, but I saw her the other day. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I guess it's Happy New Year time, but here in the Murphy household, we celebrate the full 12 days of Christmas. In fact, I'll go so far as to say that we celebrate the full 40 days of Christmastide.
40 days?
Of Christmastide.
Tide.
Which is December 25th until about February 2nd.
Really?
Which I believe is why Groundhog Day is February 2nd. I believe it's deliberately coincident with the end of Christmastide.
Interesting.
Which is a Catholic feast day. It's the presentation of the Lord after 40 days after the birth. So it's a Catholic, a lot of 40 days this and
right.
Such and such. So anyhow, and the reason I'm going to bring all that 12 days of Christmas up is it's very vital and very important to one of our main topics today. But I've put the mug here so I wouldn't forget to urge you to please buy some Christmas gifts for January 6th, the presentation of a fabulous Three Kings Day.
That's right.
Feast of the Epiphany,
Yeah.
a great gift-giving day in tradition. You can maybe give somebody a mug or
Sweatshirt,
a sweatshirt.
hat.
Sweatshirts are nice. Hats, I don't have any hats on me, but I've got the bath towel, which used to be the beach towel.
Okay.
But now
it's a bath towel. Well, it could still be a beach towel because sometimes people like to go someplace warm during the winter. So if you're going on holiday, make sure you pick up your Frank and Friends Show
this
towel.
is an empty envelope with your address on it. You can have that back.
Thank you.
Reuse
It is
that.
empty. I'm very sad now.
I donated online. Yeah, let's send that to some other donor. Anyway, so you've seen the towel, right? It's got the whole beautiful logo on it. I think we've done enough. Okay, so a couple things have happened since last you were here. You've been in Baton Rouge.
Yes.
You've been
And
starring.
Houston and Dallas and all of the places.
You've got lots to tell us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We also have to explain why inflatable Chris Kringle left his inflatable.
This is very disturbing to me.
Yeah, here's the fun part. You want to do it, or should I? You want to javelin toss it as far as you can?
Oh, yeah.
All right, just aim anywhere over there. Aim for the bathroom. Now, my wife will be upset, but she thought it was hilarious if Chris Kringle, like in Miracle on 34th Street, a movie that we've already, just moments ago before we started recording, determined that you know very little about.
It's been a long time since I saw that
Well,
movie.
at the end, they find the cane in the corner of the house.
Okay.
And Mr. Gailey says, "Maybe I'm not such a great lawyer after all." The end. So.
But it's not an inflatable cane.
No.
Right. Okay.
No. My wife was in a themed Halloween costume group, where everyone in her office was going to dress as Where's Waldo.
Okay, that's fun.
So they all get their Where's Waldo costumes, and my wife, efficiently, months in advance, orders one online. And it's, I hate to say it, it doesn't match any of the others. The other ones all have like the same Waldo outfit.
Okay.
And hers, everything about it looks a little different.
Well, she wanted to be the one that could be found.
Well, she wins. And hers came with, instead of coming with a cane like Waldo, hers came with that inflatable cane.
Nice.
So she did the best she could with it, and she still occasionally puts the glasses on for a laugh.
Nice. That's good.
But now the Where's Waldo cane has been repurposed as the Kris Kringle cane. Speaking of stuff, you keep up with all of the episodes. We've had a rotating guest host seat over the past few weeks.
Rotating friends, yeah.
We've had Becca was here for 2. Roberto was here for a couple, Sarah Roberto.
You still seem to only have female friends, though. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to build viewership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also just because women are more patient than men.
I'm very patient with you, Kathryn. I don't even know what you're trying to say. Have I been impatient with you?
Nice, good one.
Have I been somehow impatient or intolerant of you and your whims? But let's a couple things we'll get off right away. You did, thank you, for when you got back to town, stop by at the final Einstein Simplified improv show of the year before Christmas. And you happened to miss this particular part, but my wife was sitting about midway back, but she was sitting directly under the balcony.
Right.
And there's a row of tables there, and I'm not I'm on the side of this particular scene, but you're kind of paying attention, 'cause sometimes you need to jump in. You know,
Sure.
they'll say, "Oh, if only dead grandpa was here," and you have to come out
And then
be
you
a-
have to be a dead grandpa.
or whatever, the ghost of whomever. So you're listening in case the people on stage call for an additional character to burst into the scene. Well, that wasn't happening in this particular case, but I noticed this commotion, this hubbub, this ado out in the audience, and it was someone dropped something on my wife, and I thought, you hear this clunk, and my wife was like, I'm looking at her, "Are you okay? Do I need to stop the show? Do I need to come down there? What do I need to do?"
Yeah.
And it turns out, I didn't find this out till later, this is when you were in this conversation, that someone from the balcony, the skybox as we call it, dropped their vape kit, what do you call it?
I guess it's just a vape.
Vaping device?
Yeah,
Your
device.
Vape device?
Which I think they're like boxes, aren't they?
They look like kind of like cigarette packs,
cases
right?
or something. Yeah.
Well, somehow they managed to drop their valuable vape and it hit my wife in the shoulder.
Those can be kind of heavy, can't they?
Well, she said she was okay.
Yeah.
And I haven't made her do any heavy lifting since then.
That's good. That's good.
Because I'm very patient with her. But she seems fine. It just seemed like an unusual thing.
Yeah.
But you did see a scene that I was doing. It was an improv game that we call Phoning It In. Mm-hmm. Now, you're familiar with the name of the show, Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah.
So there are many variations on that. And in the game Whose Line, you're doing a scene, you're saying things, and occasionally you go to this piece of paper and you have to read what's on there, and not necessarily knowing whether it's going to fit what you've said so far or not. And then you have to justify and move forward.
Sure.
But there's different variations on that. We have one where we use a book of one-act plays.
Nice.
And one of the actors, you pick a character. Let's say you pick Madame Olha, for example, if that were a character in a one-act play. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you only read
true.
her lines,
Yeah.
but everyone else in the scene doesn't know the play. They have to just ad-lib around this one lady who is stuck, or this one guy who is stuck being
In that play.
so-and-so in it's called Actor's Nightmare, or every other line, variations like that. So we do a version of it, and a lot of improv troupes do, where you get the cell phone from somebody in the audience, and you only read text messages from the phone, and the other actors can say whatever. Like in this particular one, I was a tour guide. The audience suggested that I would be a tour guide at the Biltmore in North Carolina, and then the other girl in the scene is reading some dude's basically booty calls and text messages and whatever else is on his phone.
But she was protecting him.
She said she was.
Because she was only saying like nice a couple of times.
I guess she knew him, and
Yeah.
that's why he gave her the phone to her.
Yeah.
Because she said there were a lot of like messages from so-and-so from Tinder, so-and-so.
That's a mess.
From other city. Here's one that's just a bunch of just phone numbers. So
And this is somebody who's in a relationship with somebody else that she knows.
we believe that to be the case.
Yeah.
And of course, we always start this game saying, "Don't worry about it. We've only broken up one couple so far."
And who is that couple?
Well,
Isn't that somebody that you actually broke up?
there was a game where I had the phone, and this is a couple of years ago. I had the phone, and I'm reading the messages. And they hand me the messages. First thing I do is I hit back out of whatever one they've given me, and I take
you
my
go to
phone
another one.
and I go, "Brrr," and I just scroll back. Usually, I don't know how far back, months, weeks, years, I don't know.
Sure.
Just go back, because I figure, that might be more interesting. Or just don't know, just be more random. I want
Right.
it to be totally random. And I start
Right.
reading these messages. And in the middle of the scene, a woman, they were seated in the skybox, as I recall, storms out of the show. And then the guy goes charging after her, but I've still got his phone, so not a lot he can do. So he has to come back, get his phone, and apologize and leave. And we find out later that something I read off of his phone offended the girl to the degree where it referenced maybe an old relationship or a booty call or some
Yeah.
thing.
You broke them up.
I did.
Yeah. But I was saying to you that that's good
Why?
because you saved her from that terrible relationship she was in.
Oh.
So you're a hero.
Well, thank you. Kathryn's perspective. We need a graphic and everything for that.
Yeah, right.
And now it's time for
Kathryn's
Kathryn's.
perspective. Oh my goodness, yes. We need a whole series, like every time. Okay, we're going to bring that.
Yeah. Well, how have you been? I haven't seen you since you went off to Baton Rouge, obviously. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I mean, you haven't been here on the show since you went off to Baton Rouge. And you successfully did a world premiere
Yeah?
of an opera called The Christmas Spider.
The Christmas Spider by Clint Borzoni and John De Los Santos.
Is a horror show for arachnophobes.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. So you've learned a little bit about the Christmas Spider.
I have, because you keep sending me things.
And I have one right here. Because in Ukraine and Eastern European countries, they celebrate the Christmas Spider.
Yeah,
which brings you good luck in the new year.
And there's many legends and books, children's books, and other stories about this, where the spider, I guess, spins a web on the tree, and in some versions of it, the web turns, Santa Claus or somebody turns the web to gold or silver. In other versions of it, it's just they're imagining this is the best decorations. We can't afford, we're so poor, we can't have decorations. But the spider web in the tree
becomes really beautiful and brings
luck.
Their gift. But also there's a children's book out that the spider actually saves Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah, so Mary and Joseph they've had Jesus and they're leaving and trying to get back home, and they're hiding in a cave, and Herod's men.
Oh yeah, Herod's the bad guy.
Yeah, Herod's the bad guy.
Yeah, remember I did his voice on the Nativity Pension?
Thank you. It's all coming back to me.
Yeah, go.
That one. Yeah.
Herod kills the firstborn boys.
Yes, and so all his men are out looking for the firstborn, and they come to the cave that Jesus is in, but there's a spider in that cave, and the spider makes a beautiful web over the cave entrance, and so of course Herod's men get to the cave and they're like, I'm not going through that spider web.
Clearly there's no one on the other side of it, because
there's a spider here. Yeah.
Oh, that's clever.
So that's another version of it.
Nice.
So what's really nice about the Christmas spider is the spider can be whoever you want it to be. It's very universal.
Ah.
It can be it can be Jesus, or it can be Santa,
or Charlotte.
It can be, and ours.
Does your spider have a name, like a Ukrainian name?
Natalia.
Oh.
Yeah, which means, I think, something about coming at Christmas time.
Well, it sounds very nativity,
yes.
Birth, natal.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it has to do with birthing.
Yeah, and Fedorov, which is the family's name, who is very poor in our opera, it means of God.
Because they're not better off.
They're Fedorov. Well, that's the sequel, is Better Off Fedorov.
They're rich.
Well, yes, because the landlady might actually invite them to come to lunch, at the end. Yeah.
Now, you're the landlady. You're the evil villain.
I am the villain.
How evil? You're not that evil, are you?
No, she's just mean. I mean, she's coming on Christmas Eve, and these people don't have any money or food, or,
She wants the rent.
Give me the rent.
Does she?
Pay me now.
Does this woman happen to own any radio stations?
Probably, yeah. She owns all the radio stations, all the restaurants. She owns the town.
Well, the reason I happen to be not in this situation, but I keep reading online about these poor radio people who always get laid off right at the end of the year, which is, of course, right around the holidays. So I was making a joke that she wants to rent. Yeah. So do all the people who rent rooms to radio DJs.
Yeah, it's pretty. Common right now, especially in our country, where rents are going up, and so I'm
here's
that mean
this
person.
Story from back set in the 1700s, 1800s.
Pre-Revolutionary War in Ukraine.
That would be I don't
Russia,
know what year that would be. I would think 1917 is the year that comes to mind with the Bolsheviks. So probably before that.
Yeah.
Did they have electricity and stuff? So probably late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you're in it, and you performed it in, how many times did you do the show in Baton Rouge?
We did the show twice, and oh my gosh, so it has 2 kids in it, and the kids are adorable, and they play brother and sister, and the kids in Baton Rouge were, 11 and 9, and Harper, so the little girl is really the main character, and Harper, this was her first operatic debut, and she did a fabulous job, and she wrote, "Dear Miss Kathryn," this was my closing night gift. "You seem like an opera pro. You amaze me. You can hit some very, very, very high notes and break my eardrums."
Do you sing close to her head?
Well,
kind of.
Yeah, sometimes. Very talented. This is my favorite part, though. In the play, you and I are like enemies. But in real life, we are besties. I will miss you very much. And so much, I will ever cry my eyeballs out. Your friend, Harper. Isn't that sweet? Yeah.
Brava. Brava,
She is
Harper.
a little diva. Yeah.
Harper of Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Now, part of the big story here is that you've commissioned this new opera from those dudes, Clint and John,
Yes.
who wrote another opera that you did
The Copper Queen, yeah.
a couple of years ago. And you've commissioned them, but you've done it in the way the world works nowadays is you don't just commission it for Opera Louisiane, or you don't just commission it for Marble City Opera. You'll team up. And even the other world premieres you've been involved with, you get
Other
what is
organizations.
it called?
A co-production.
Not a symposium, not a conglomerate. There's some word you had where you get in conjunction with these other opera
Yeah.
companies, and that's what's happened
Consortium.
here. That's the word I was looking for. So it means we're going to get to see this one in Knoxville.
That's right, on January 6th. Because,
January 6th?
well, you were just talking about the
What a
40 days of Christmas.
What a coincidence. The 12th day of Christmas, the traditional gift-giving day, what they call in many areas Armenian Christmas, Ukrainian Christmas, Orthodox Christmas.
That's right.
What a shocking coincidence.
I know, yeah. Who would have thought of that?
That's good. It's very smart. And that's a Saturday this year.
It is a Saturday. So we're actually doing like a 12 days of Christmas, like starting on Christmas Day, like every day on
Those
on
are the
social media.
actual true 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
And depending on how you count, some people count so that the 12th day of Christmas is January 5th, and then you celebrate after that you have 12th night, and then you celebrate the next holiday, which is
Right.
Epiphany. And others, you kind of, figure the numbers a little differently so that January 6th turns out to be
The actual 12th.
12th day.
Yeah.
But it's complicated because you either skip the Sunday in the middle or you start on the 26th, which doesn't make sense, or I like it where you start on the 25th and the 12th day is like January 5th, and then the January 6th is its own thing. It's
Right.
its own holiday.
Right.
You've got the 12 days
Yeah.
leading up to, and now we've yet another holiday.
That's what we're doing.
Ba-boom.
That's how we're doing it.
I like it.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, all over the world they do this. I remember when we lived in California, we went to Disneyland that weekend, and they had like Disney characters dressed as the three wise men.
Oh, nice.
Because in Latin American cultures, Three Kings Day, or however you'd say that in Spanish, was huge, and they would have a big celebration.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be fun. So 2 shows, but you have 2 casts.
separate
You have to
kids, yep.
decide whether you want to see the afternoon kids or the
The evening kids.
later afternoon kids. I guess nowadays, I hate this time of year so much because it'll be pitch black by the time it'll be dark.
That's true.
By the time you get to the 5:30 show.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so get your tickets at marblecityopera.com/tickets. And I'll admit this is a commercial because I'm on the board and I'm a very little help to Kathryn in any other way. So I thought.
So here's the commercial.
I mention it here.
This empty envelope is now full.
I didn't mean to give it to you on the show. I just happened to put it in there on top of the towel so I wouldn't forget to give it to you. I think I'm saving the opera company, a few pennies.
Yeah, this is now sponsored by Frank and Friends Show.
How about that? Cheers.
Cheers.
So go see the show. It's at St. John's Cathedral. Is it in the sanctuary?
It's in the sanctuary, 2:30 and 5 p.m.
How are you going to do that? Because I remember when you did Amal and the Night Visitor. Well, first of all, when you did Tosca in there, you used it as a sanctuary. It was
Right.
still obviously a church.
Right.
But when you did Amal and the Night Visitors there, it became a theater. You
Right.
covered all of the sanctuary-looking stuff with Amal's house.
Right. And so that's the same. What we're trying to do is bring in some set pieces and create the house of the Fedorovs. Yeah.
I think there was a wrestler named Fedorov, wasn't there?
I don't know.
Maybe not. But, no,
Same guy.
It was a
Same
tennis player. It was a tennis player.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
who it was.
that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And the choirs are involved.
So the St. John's Choir, they have a children's choir,
Okay.
and they're all going to be participating, and then a few people from their other choir as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Is it any good?
The opera?
Well, I like it.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're going to love it.
Okay, that's
There
all
are
I get to
jingle
say.
bells in it. I mean, they're sleigh bells. How can you not have a holiday opera without,
Oh, good. Because, Kathryn, when you do these operas, the only thing I really care about is whether or not I'm going to like it.
Oh, well, you're going to like it.
That's what I care about.
Yeah.
All right, well, good. Now, meanwhile, my wife has been loaded up with gifts from her job. And I've got a few things I might want to mention that are somewhat interesting. But you brought some show and tell.
I did.
Also.
This is a great Christmas present I received from my aunt, my Aunt TC. She's out in Canada. Now, you have to read this because it looks like I got chocolates. which I opened and I was like, oh, that looks good.
They do look good.
But look what she wrote on top of that.
Sorry, I ate the chocolates. That's like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Sorry, I ate the chocolates. But what's inside the box should last longer. Now, I will disagree with that, Kathryn. I am still carrying around chocolates that I ate many years ago.
That's true.
I have not been able to shake the chocolates.
They last forever.
So she said. So it looks like you're getting these beautiful chocolates, but but no.
Yeah.
Sorry, I ate the chocolates. Well, can I look inside?
Yeah, absolutely. Open
I'm
it.
afraid.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
if it's like something lady?
Then you have to read the
lady
next
thing?
note.
All right. Please take care. The paint may still be not entirely dry, and there are dressmaker's pins holding the corners together. Okay. So time ran out for Auntie. She had to. Oh, but this
what
is
she
sweet.
did.
Look at it is. It's your dog.
Yeah, she painted my dog. Yeah.
That's lovely.
Isn't that nice?
That's talent.
Yeah, she's an artist,
Okay.
so
Well, that's
just
fantastic. That's a really good painting of Sasha.
isn't it? Isn't that nice? Yeah, so it's even better than the
Where's
chocolates.
the middle? There's the middle.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, she's illustrated children's books in Canada, and she does those coins.
This looks better than at most children's book illustrations. No offense to my friends who are children's book illustrators.
She's very talented.
This is really good.
Yeah,
though.
she's very talented. And the coins that
You know why it's so good? She was able to eat the chocolates while
Exactly.
she painted and enjoy the.
she had great inspiration.
Yeah. So those coins.
The coin, that some countries have memorable coins, and
Challenge coins,
Yeah.
or like military and police have those. I've got a Dr. Bass challenge coins.
kind of, yeah. And in Canada, they have the Canadian Mint, and they do all of these yearly.
You know what they have
coins.
in this country? The U.S. Mint. Did you know that? You can visit it if you want,
That's fun
if you're into
if you're into that.
gymnastics. But go ahead.
Well, she designs some of those too. They commission her to design
wow.
the coins. Yeah,
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like if you get to paint a stamp or design
Yeah.
a coin, that's very big. So she's famous. This is from a famous Canadian artist who ate the chocolates.
Who ate the chocolates? I just love this.
That's really nice.
Isn't that nice? Yeah,
That's really nice.
one of my favorite gifts.
Someone gave my wife a box of Keurig cake cups for, it says peppermint mocha. And she's like, oh, I like peppermint mocha, but here's the problem is we don't have a Keurig machine. So she thought maybe I'll bring it to work. And then she's wondering, well, how do you do it? And you read the directions. It's a peppermint mocha Keurig cup, but you have to add your own sugar and your own milk.
Nice.
So it's just peppermint flavored coffee.
Right.
And she's like, oh, well, all right.
Well,
So, maybe that'll get used. Maybe it won't.
Yeah. Have you seen the boxes? So I love Christmas presents that come in boxes that have nothing to do with their present.
No, this is
So it's kind of my favorite.
It's something like my mom would do. We would always reuse, especially shirt boxes.
Sure.
Like you could get a shirt from a nice men's store, and then when you but you never know what's going to be actually in it because it might be a shirt, or more likely it's going to be some book or some other thing that just
Well, James and I found this great box at Target a few years ago that actually was a fake Christmas box, and it was for an earwax candle. And so we bought these boxes.
Not beeswax.
No. And it's just like an empty box that you get to put whatever you want inside of it. But on the outside, it looks like it's a box for earwax candles.
Okay, so it's a gag gift.
It's a gag gift.
That then pays off like this one does.
Yes.
With a real gift on the inside.
On the inside.
I did not know about that.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. We gave it to my brother. Well, we actually passed it around the whole family, but when my brother opened it, he's like, "Oh wow, okay, yeah, this is good," and we're laughing hysterically.
It's not good. It's an earwax candle.
We're open it up, So yeah, it's a really fun time to do that to people.
We went to a older lady's birthday party, and they gave her a portable bidet, but they meant to, and it was like the you would think the gag gift of the thing, but then it turns out she was on her way to Poland, and it was going to be perfect.
Amazing.
So she was excited. Oh, I get to use this in Poland.
Hilarious.
But it's all anybody talked about. And I wish I could remember the jokes I was cracking because it was quite the highlight. But I was just riffing at the time.
That's awesome.
Speaking of great holiday gifts for January 6th, or for any day, how about a nice book? Maybe you want to curl up in this horrible time of year when the days are short and the nights are long, and everything outside looks dead.
And
you
think
can
about
read
death.
Carved in Bone. You can read Death's Acre. You can get some other Dr. Bass merchandise autographed by the great Dr. Bill Bass, if you are a Dr. Bill Bass groupie.
Well, I do like that the dead can continue to tell tales.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
And I was, last time you were here, I believe we talked a little bit about the next opera, which you're also doing with the guy from St. John's is involved in it.
Jason Overall.
About the Body Snatchers. I've actually started researching what's those guys, Hare and the other fella who did the body
Dr. Rock,
snatching.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think the real life guy might have been named Knox, Dr. Knox.
Oh, interesting.
But they changed it to Dr. Rock in the Dylan Thomas version, I believe. But anyhow, or vice versa.
Gotcha.
But the point is, I started researching it so that, we can get involved with bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. And maybe bring some of the Body Farm merch down there and have a little presentation and merch sale.
I'm excited about that.
And have fun things, and I'll get up there and give a speech about the importance of modern skeletal collections.
Fantastic.
Which is the Body Farm angle.
Right, absolutely. They
used to have
goes into the
storytelling.
So,
anyway, you can learn about some of that in these great books, and I'll have audio clips of Dr. Bass. And if you want to hire me to come do a presentation, I can do the cremation, I can do the history of the Body Farm, whatever. Any of the books that there's a Dr. Bass book, I have audio of him talking about that book, and I turn that into a PowerPoint presentation. So you got to have
with jazz hands.
You got to have a projector and you got to have a computer so we can show you the
the jazz hands,
the dead people on the screen. Look, here's a guy decomposing, and let me tell you a story about it.
And there are jazz hands.
so many jazz hands. So many jazz hands. We actually have one where he cuts the hand. Let's not get into that right now. Bonezones.com.
Don't forget the S.
So I've sent my wife a couple of times recently because I work from home.
You upset her?
Unfortunately. She goes out to work, and I work here in the house. I do the podcast. I do the radio. I'll do a lot. I'll prepare. I mean, except when I'm, going to be on stage or going to be on television, I'm able to do a lot of the prep work here. Well, sometimes my routine is to, come downstairs and maybe make the coffee. I'll listen to a podcast, do a meditation thing, or just whatever. And I'm just kind of like pitter-pattering around. And I will leave my phone. I've done this a couple of times now, apparently. Left the phone on the charger upstairs.
With the ringer off?
On, off. It doesn't really matter. It's way upstairs.
You can't hear it?
I didn't know. I mean, turns out one time I did hear it, but I didn't hear it fast enough.
I see.
Because, the more recent time, she's trying to reach me, and I can kind of hear it, and I'm like, oh, she just left the house. I mean, how bad can it be? She just left.
Maybe she needed something.
Right. She had a flat tire down at the corner of. She was like 1 minute from the house. I guess it was all the way down at Middlebrook Pike and the next street. So she's down there, and she's stuck on the side of the road. Her tire is blown out.
And she can't get a hold of you.
And I'm telling her, what you need to do is leave a voicemail, because she never leaves a voicemail. She's just going to keep calling and texting and calling and texting until I respond. And I learned my lesson. I needed to get to it right away, but I said, I've got the new upgrade, whatever it is, iOS, whatever, that supposedly gives you live voicemail. But no one ever leaves me a voicemail, so I haven't been able to try it.
Those are creepy.
Oh, wait, have you had it yet?
Yeah. Do you want to call my phone and leave me one so we can show everybody? It's really creepy.
I'm using my phone as the backup recording
we'll have
device.
To do that later.
But tell me, just describe it to me. So I'm calling, I'm going, I get, hello, Kathryn Frady. I'm opera diva-izing. And
yeah, well, actually, because
please buy tickets to the Christmas Spider at MarbleCityOpera.com, or leave me a message.
This is actually really even better than all of that, because you remember how on the podcast we changed my Siri voice to a British male?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've never changed it back.
Okay.
And now with the upgrade, the voicemail is a British man answering my phone. Hello, you've reached the voicemail.
It's not you.
It's not me.
But it could be. Oh, wow.
It's a British man answering my phone. And so that's already freaking everybody out. And also you can answer, so if it goes to voicemail, you can still answer the phone.
That's the part I'm interested in, is if my wife were leaving me a message, it buys me a little bit of time.
Yep.
Do I hear her voice or do I just see...
You see the text.
That's what the part that's a little weird is I was hoping if I could hear her talking, I would, in this particular situation, I was indisposed in a nearby room with plumbing. And the phone was just on the nightstand, and I couldn't.
I can't reach it.
I can't reach it, and I'm certainly not going to go stand up
get
and
it now.
get it.
Yeah. You're gonna have to wait.
So, but I'm thinking, okay, I can, just hear that it's her,
right?
And know. So another time I had it turned on so that Siri announced who it was calling.
Okay, that's good.
And that time I was in this bathroom, and the phone was over there on that counter.
I have some solutions for you.
So I started yelling at "Hey Siri," which I don't want to really say that too much because it'll make all the phones go off.
Yeah.
Answer the phone, which I didn't think worked. So then I thought, well, I don't know if that worked. So I'll tell it to call Jere. Well, somehow in this mishmash of yelling instructions at the phone, it answers it, but she's not on speakerphone.
So you still can't hear her.
I forgot.
She can hear you.
She can hear me. So I don't know how this happened. So if I had told the thing, call Jere on speakerphone, it will do it.
Oh, I see.
You have to say all those words.
Yeah.
And I hadn't. So somehow, she's connected. And I finally, I'm washing my hands and rushing over there. I'm like, she's like, oh, whatever that emergency was.
Yeah.
But would you suggest is this?
Well, you can wear your AirPods.
That works very well.
Then you can answer the phone that way.
And maybe that's what you do, is you just put them in all day.
I mean, that's what James does. But I have my Apple Watch, which is nice because that gives me alerts too if somebody's calling me.
I can see the advantage of wearing the AirPods because when I'm outside listening to a podcast or one of the radio stations I like while I'm doing the gardening, I was out there, putting mulch around the figs, listening to Bean's podcast, and if a text comes in, it stops the podcast and you hear the message.
Right.
And same thing, if a call comes in, you say, should I answer it? Then you tell it yes or no.
Yeah. Well, and then that you could, since you're just walking around listening to things anyway, you could just make.
But in the house, I guess that's the difference is I'm not using the AirPods to listen to the podcast. I'm listening to them on the.
I see.
The Alexa machine.
Right.
Because I just like, to let the room fill with the sound rather than have to...
In your ears,
But I guess if I were to switch, and they bought me the AirPods for a reason, I guess if I try that, I'm going to try that. Because this really ultimately came down to this day a few months ago. And I've been saving to tell you this story, but then I also thought, I can't tell this story to Kathryn. It's too sensitive. Because we know people. You know someone who really it was an actual. It was an actual emergency.
Right.
In my case, it was just me fiddling around. Nothing was wrong. There was no emergency. No one had gotten ill.
Yeah.
So if you want me to not tell you the story,
you can tell me.
I think you already know most of it anyway because Jere told you. Jere needs to get her own podcast. I'm like, wait, save it for the show.
Stop talking to Kathryn. Don't tell her anything. Just because she came to see me at my improv performance, don't talk to her.
So it was a similar situation. Phone's upstairs on the charger. And now I'm going back. So this is the first, I've told you these in reverse order.
Right.
To kind of build up to the worst case scenario, which was the first time in recent memory this has happened. Phone's upstairs on the thing. I am piddling around. I am listening to podcasts on the Echo device. I am maybe getting the radio show ready on the computer. Mm-hmm. I am maybe making coffee, washing some dishes. I've got noises going on. And finally, I do sit down on the plumbing for a moment, and I hear my phone's, ring, which is the standard Apple ring. So every time you're watching a show and that comes on, you think it's your phone.
Right.
Which they do that to you on purpose on all the Apple TV shows. You notice that?
They're always the same.
They always have. Someone's always getting a call or a text, and you're always.
Is it mine?
Yeah, it's like the product placement. So I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's a call. Okay, well, it's no big deal. I'll just go to voicemail. And then you start hearing dings and dings and dings. I'm like, well, that seems fast.
Yeah.
It dings once, and then 2 minutes later, it dings a second time, and then that's it. But this is multiple dings in a short amount of time. So I go upstairs. And the most recent text, you can see that there's several missed calls, several missed texts. And now there's another conversation, a second text conversation has begun with my wife and next door neighbor Nancy. And my wife is saying, I've tried to call Frank several times and text him several times. And I didn't think that much time had elapsed. I thought it was like 20 minutes, right? Maybe a little more. I didn't think it was that long.
It was a couple hours, right?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
It wasn't.
Okay. All right.
I mean, she's now asking next door neighbor Nancy to do a welfare check to come over here and ring the doorbell. And Nancy writes back, well, I'm in, and she travels to New York to be in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Or she'll go to Florida she marches in it. Or to go to Florida to visit a friend. So she texts back, I am in Chattanooga, I am in Florida, I'm wherever. But my sons are home. I'll send them over to knock down the door and make sure your husband's alive and not sprawled on the floor or have fallen down the stairs.
I mean, you have stairs. That's a concern.
So
and into the basement.
So at this point, I'm like, I have to immediately. I can't even call my wife back at this point. I have to say, I'm alive. Don't send anyone to the house. I'm okay. I am fine. I am sorry that I left the phone upstairs, and it was so. I felt so. I mean, it was terrible.
That is terrible.
So.
But relatable.
Yeah. I mean, you've been on the end where someone needed help and you couldn't, and you were out of town and you couldn't do anything about it. So I mean, I felt bad bringing the story up for you, but
it's just normal, like part of life, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, James he overslept one morning last year, and it was after what had happened with Brandon, and he was not normal. If you don't know,
Kathryn's dear best friend Brandon passed away at his home unexpectedly,
and we couldn't get a hold of him.
The reason his death was noticed was because he missed a meeting with you, a Zoom meeting with you, and that's when you sent people to his house to check on him.
Yeah.
So that's why I felt bad bringing the story up to you, because I'm still alive. If I were dead, I wouldn't feel bad about it.
Well, yeah, you could bring it up, and I would be like, yeah, this seems typical. Yeah, that's how my friends go.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Christmas Spider, January 6th, MarvelCityOpera.com. So James overslept.
He overslept, and we always talk in the morning, and I was out of town, and he didn't answer the phone.
And he travels, too. Sometimes he's in a different city
Yeah.
to direct an opera.
Yeah, this just happened. He was in Knoxville, and I wasn't, and he didn't answer the phone, and several hours went by, I walked the dog, I got ready for work, I went to work, I got to work, I still hadn't heard from him. I'm texting him, I'm like, are you okay? Still hadn't heard from him. So a couple of hours has passed now.
Yeah.
And I called Kayla, my friend who also works at Marvel City Opera, and I said, I might need you to go check on James because he hasn't answered.
And they're like, Kathryn, we can't, all your friends.
Right, exactly. Don't send me.
No one wants to find that.
But luckily he called within, 15 minutes of me talking to Kayla. So.
Well, this is a good lesson.
Yeah.
I think I've learned my lesson here. I think I do need to be a little more sensitive, a little less selfish about, wanting to be left alone. But that's the other side of it, though, is, so many of the advice type people will tell you got to, reduce your social media.
Right.
You've got, of course, I don't want you to. I want you to keep subscribe on YouTube to the Frank and Friends Show.
Smash that button.
But how much time can you literally spend, looking at social media or listening to podcasts or doing things?
Right.
But or just having the phone or responding to every text message. I thought you need to set boundaries, but it's not like I have two phones. I don't have a personal number and a business number. I just got the one.
Right.
It all comes to the same place. And
yeah,
a lot of times I'll stop what I'm doing and look at the phone, and it's somebody asking me to do something that could have certainly waited. Hey, can you write me a letter of recommendation? Can you nominate me for this? Can you MC this other thing?
Right.
Oh, by the way, can you do this for free?
Right. When are we recording a podcast?
Is there a way to prioritize certain messages? Like if the phrase recording a podcast is in the message, would it
go to the top?
Can I make that?
Yeah, that would be nice.
A different ding to it?
That would be cool. Apple needs to take note of that. That's a great idea.
Have you tried using any of the AI things?
I have not, except, we did, my social media coordinator in Baton Rouge at Opera Louisiana created some AI Christmas spider posters.
Oh, okay. So
have you seen any of those?
I don't know how to do pictures I've seen these crazy looking AI pictures. I don't know how to do pictures. I was just really just thinking that kind of I haven't used ChatGPT yet, but Google has its own version of ChatGPT called Bard. Oh, that's a nice picture. Is that all fake?
Yeah, it's all fake. These are Christmas spider photos.
Oh.
Which way do I go?
Up there. Oh, wow.
Yeah, got spiders all in the Christmas. Anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right. So, I mean, I don't know how to do pictures, but I'm saying I can go to Google/Bard and tell it, show me an example of a letter of recommendation, or what are the things I need to put in? Because someone asked me to write one. I don't know what to put.
Sure.
So I got a template. I said, create a template for a letter of recommendation. And it gave me some ideas of, we said, you do kind of an opening, and then you do some bullet points, and you do a wrap up. Like, oh, okay.
That's nice.
So I used AI for that, the Google Bard, or whatever it's called, because I was afraid of it. But I interviewed a lady at UT who was like a national expert on AI. She used to be in the White House liaison for AI.
Nice.
Now she's moved back home, and she's the state of Tennessee liaison for AI.
Nice.
And she convinced me to try it. I'm like, okay, I'll try it.
Did you create? I think you did create something. We were maybe going to turn into a song for Frank and Friends.
Oh, my chiropractor did that. He used ChatGPT to make up a song, and we could totally do that. I mean, I can try it. Did we already do it together?
We haven't done it.
I don't think we did. I think I threatened to.
Yeah.
And I was going to say I was going to make you sing it. Is that what it was?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, I can try that. Let's see. Let's get the computer here. Here it is. This will be the experiment. Probably should do a screen record so you can see this, but that's really more than I have time for right now. Write a theme song. What key do you want it to be in?
It doesn't matter.
For the Frank and Friends Show podcast, co-starring Kathryn Frady.
Do you think it will come up with a more operatic theme song then?
I don't know. Let's just see what it says. I'll just throw in some extra junk. Write a theme song for the Frank and Friends Show podcast, co-starring Kathryn Frady, the soprano. So let's see. Oh my, this is not bad. I mean, it's interesting.
They got operatic sort
All right,
in
so
there.
I'll read it while you
Okay.
think of a tune that goes with it. All right, here we go. Does this look all right? Okay. Frank and friends gather around the mic, voices blend in, stories take flight. From Tennessee twang to operatic soar, Kathryn Frady joins the musical war. With laughter and wit, the banter takes hold, harmonies rise like stories untold.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Now a chorus. Frank and Friends, a podcast delight where music and mirth ignite. From bluegrass to Bach, a genre-defying spree, a symphony for you and me. Kathryn's soprano, a celestial grace, adds wings to the words, sets the tempo apace. So tune in close, let the lyrics embrace. Frank and Friends, find your happy place. I mean, oh wait, this goes
extensive.
on and
Can
on.
you send
and
this
on.
to me? Can
Sure.
you save this?
Yeah. There's a
that's
way to.
fabulous.
There's a way to save it and send it to yourself.
That's great.
I have to remember how, but there's a way. Let's see, thumbs up, thumbs down.
I know people, so
Share
turn
and
this into
export. Okay.
I'm going to turn this Frank and Friends show into an opera.
All right, new email created. I think that's the easiest. Oh my goodness. A chorus we sing, laughter and music. Okay, it's a lot of words.
That's a lot of words.
So, here's a bridge. There's a bridge, Kathryn.
So raise a glass, let the music flow. Wherever you are, let the good vibes grow. From Nashville streets to the world afar, Frank and Friends shines like a guiding star.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. That was weird.
It was kind of strange.
I didn't expect.
It's like all like it's like a Christmas carol for Frank and Friends.
I just put in nonsense.
That's amazing.
Okay. All right.
Well, so it doesn't always work, but
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, my wife likes to. We love our computers. We love our social media things. My wife was so excited that she somehow managed to get the Wordle in one try,
okay. Yeah.
which is rare, But she will text her friends. So she gets up before dawn to go to work. She just leaves the house at 6:30 to get out before the school bus picks up the kid across the street.
Wow.
So but so like 4:30, 5 o'clock, who knows? I'm sound asleep, and she's on her phone, maybe doing the Wordle or these other games, the connections. The other one's called these geography puzzles that she solves, and she shares her results with her sister and my son and her coworkers. Well, she said she was so excited that she hit the Wordle in one try that she was wanted to wake me up and tell me,
I got it.
like, I don't care.
I'm trying to sleep.
But she thought better of it. She thought, this time let him pretend to be dead. Let him let him be. I'll text him later and tell him.
Are you a light sleeper? If she had woken you up, would you have not been able to go back to sleep?
That's a good question. Because there have been some times, this time of year, I think I have depression when the days are this short.
Yeah.
Because there's been a couple of instances where she got up to do whatever, and I did go back to sleep. Next thing I know, it's like 10 a.m. and I'm like, oh.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, that was not good. I don't want to. I don't know. Something about the sunset too early, the sunrise too late. It gets to me.
Yeah.
I don't like winter. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, I know you don't. But the good news is that we've already had the shortest day of the year, and we're on the
shortest day of the year, Frank.
We're on the uptick.
My half birthday is on the shortest day of the year.
Oh,
because my birthday is the longest day of the year.
That makes sense.
So that all works out. All right, I guess let's wrap this one because it's been a good one. I wanted to tell you, maybe I'll tell you one more story that has to do with computers when we're on this topic.
Okay.
My work computer is I don't know, it's a PC. I forget if it's a Dell or an HP. It's one of those. I think it might be HP. But anyway, it's a Windows PC, Microsoft. I went to open it up this morning, and there are search results. It's open to a browser with Christmas gift ideas. I thought, this is not good. I guess I should say, this happened before Christmas. I opened up, not today. I opened up the thing, and it's been searching for Christmas gift ideas. And I'm like, well, who's been using my computer? I used it last night to record the radio show, and I'm going to use it again today to record another one. Oh. Why would my wife start Googling Christmas gift ideas on this computer unless I'm supposed to get a hint?
Right. True.
And then I realized it's not even in Chrome or Firefox, the browsers I normally use. It's in Bing.
That's weird.
It's very weird. Nobody uses Bing. I mean, the only Bing I'm interested in is Bing Crosby, everybody. So Bing has opened itself and updated itself on the computer. So then you realize there's two tabs open of the Bing. And one is, congratulations, you've been updated to the latest edition of Bing. Mm-hmm. And then it opened a second tab and left open the second tab of Christmas gift ideas, as if I'm all of a sudden going to think, oh, I should use this browser. I'm fairly confident it went and did this on its own without any input or suggestion from me, because I don't use Bing on there.
Did you get hacked?
Well, it's possible. The boss, the owner of the radio station, can log in to that computer if he wants, and he'll do that to update my software and things like that.
And to suggest Christmas presents that he wants.
Well, I was worried that maybe I had been hacked, so I immediately closed everything and did a reboot of the computer to wash all that away.
Yeah.
So I didn't even remember what the gifts were.
Sorry.
But it was just weird.
That is very odd.
When we're talking about AI and just these things that are just starting to...
Yeah.
I've noticed that more and more, and it works out usually to my advantage when the computer says, oh, do you want to open this document? You usually open this document around this time every day. Or on the Google Maps in the car, when you do the recent searches.
Right.
It's not the recent searches. Not at all. It's like on Sundays, it knows to give me the church. And on Tuesdays, it knows to give me the Locust Street garage.
That is crazy.
Yes. Those ones that I have not searched recently, have not searched maybe for 7 days, all of a sudden, coincidentally,
are showing up in recent.
Pop up in my recent searches
on the right day
when I need them, and I like it because it's very convenient for me. I've come to rely on it, and when it's not there, I get frustrated.
Well, I don't come here often enough because it doesn't show up in my recent searches on the days that I'm coming here.
Well, there's no schedule. I never know. I don't never know what day you're coming.
Right?
Either.
Exactly.
All right. If you got new devices, I mean, you got some new hardware for Christmas, you got a new phone, you got a new Amazon Echo, you got a Kindle or whatever it is, maybe put an Amazon Audible membership on that. Go to audibletrial.com/FrankenFriendsShow to get a free 30-day premium membership. And premium members get an MP3 credit every month, so you can bank those and download something to keep forever that may have, need multiple credits, or you can download, 12 different things that are 1 credit during the course of a year. But during your free month, take full advantage. Make sure you use that MP3 credit, and then the membership will continue until you say, I can't listen to any more things. I listen to everything. But you'll never listen to everything.
No, because it's all being created right now.
There's always new things.
All new.
New books coming out all the time.
Podcasts.
New podcasts like The Frank and Friends Show. So go to audibletrial.com/FrankandFriendsShow for that free 30-day premium membership. And then you try out our website, which is
frankandfriendshow.com.
/store. Thank you.
And then you can purchase our fabulous merchandise.
The bath towel that the friends enjoy. Or you can also use the bath towel that Frank enjoys. Or both.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's great. The mugs, pint glasses, cell phone cases, you name it, we've got it.
I was on there the other day. I'm having some difficulty. I need help. I don't know if my computers are good enough, but they have new things. They had Christmas ornaments. I couldn't make it.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to make a Frank and Friends ornament.
That would have been nice.
Just kept failing. I got to call these people and say, I want to make some of the new things. You got some new items that I think would be delightful, but I'm stymied by the merch company. But the people who buy the merch, Sarah Roberto and Bruce Patrick and you and me, the quality of it is great.
It's great.
We enjoy it very much. All right. All of those things. Now, most of all, subscribe on YouTube. Just hit the button,
Smash it.
Borrow grandma's phone, log her into Gmail, sign her up. She might enjoy it very much. And listen on all the audio podcast apps, all the things. I guess that's it, right?
I think so. How close are we to that 1,000? Where are we at? Because remember, I'm going to sing the 1,000th. I can't say
Last
that.
time I checked, we were at 976.
Okay, we're getting close.
But we've said that for 2 years.
Come on.
For 2 years
For 2
we've been getting
years.
close. And I just don't think, I can't get excited about it because, I said this the other day with Becca, I believe. I had multiple people from the Nativity pageant subscribe in front of my very eyes. And I saw the number go up.
And then it went down?
Well, then the next day it goes back down. So I'm like, somebody else unsubscribes or they cancel their Gmail account. Or if you have a student Gmail account and then you graduate, well, then your subscriptions on YouTube, they go away too. So I'm like, I don't know how to do it.
So close.
I know.
So close.
Yet so far.
Yet so far away.
So I can't hold my breath. I have no control over it. Only those of you watching do. Trick somebody into subscribing.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Yeah.
See if you can do that.
Create some emails.
Yeah.
Help us out.
All right, Brady. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful time. Christmas Spider coming up January 6th, which is very, very soon because this episode is probably this week.
Yeah.
This whole time I was in my head, I thought, Frady can plug the Christmas Spider and I can plug Scholars Bowl because that starts 2 days later on January 8th.
Oh, nice.
Totally
But we forgot the Scholars Bowl.
Forgot all about it. Well,
next time.
Shows you, it's in my head so much. It's all I can think about for like 3 months. And then once it's over, I'm like, It is the Frank and Friends Show. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
And we'll talk to you again next time.